Hey folks, King here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play SimCity. We are going to start a new city with a new type of build idea and philosophy. This is in the same neighborhood that I built my little 3.0 patch test city, so we're going to work right next door. And the idea I want with this one is I want to try to build a city that is as high wealth as possible. Which is not always something you necessarily want to do, because different industries and different shops and things like that need the low wealth workers. Now, as it stands, there's quite a bit of sort of low and medium wealth people in this town next door, as well as a fair bit of industry and little things like that. Not much high wealth at all. So this place is going to be billed as the high wealth destination. In particular, I'm going to see if I can't get a nice set of houses maybe along the river. We'll see how it goes. You know, we might make this a university town as well, which might be a little bit wasted. I don't know how well the education is sort of flowing between towns at this point yet. I guess we're going to find out in this particular video. But yeah, that's pretty much what the situation is going to be. Now, yeah, so I think I'm going to build a lot of the residential areas sort of back here, because I think it'll be quite lovely. Now, just for thoroughness, first, let's take a look at the wind map, because we might end up building some industry. Oh, it blows out towards the river, so that might be difficult. Conceivably, we might put a little bit of something back here. We might actually just want a power station. I don't know, though. We probably want to just do something like solar right from the beginning. Yeah, I think that might be something that's going to happen. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to consider that going forward. And yeah, just out of curiosity, what else do we have in terms of resources? We've got no coal, no ore, no oil. Well, there we have it. I'm hoping that the housing desirability level is quite high in this place. We do have a rail connection, and of course we've got water access, in addition to kind of a cool sort of curved highway here. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to continue this general shape. Maybe at least just make one parallel sort of avenue over here. And then after that, I don't know, we might go for somewhat more interesting residential areas. We might keep it kind of woodsy. This makes me think of some of the really expensive kind of neighborhoods that are in the only part of New Jersey that's actually nice. Like all the people who work super high paying jobs in Manhattan that live there. It's kind of woody. It is on the water. It's not on the river, but it's on the water. Nice houses. So maybe we'll do that and sort of give them a little bit of seclusion. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, without further ado, let us start our build. I am going to go ahead and build a medium density avenue that is adjacent to this. And we are going to use the curvy road tool so that we can easily follow this sort of bend. It'll be fairly expensive to build this first one, but I'm certain that I want an avenue there. So that's not bad. And then how do we connect it up? I mean, we could go straights, but that's actually probably a less than ideal situation, because we're going to create an intersection here. So it actually would be better if we ended up with a bit of a curve. So even though, you know, we're going to eat a little bit of our money here, we're going to do this, and then we're going to use the arc tool. So we can take our medium density. We can come straight out and then curve down and sort of lock it in there. There we are. That I think will actually work pretty well traffic-wise as well. We'll see how it goes. Straight out and then curved in. There. So I'm not sure where everything is going to be necessarily. I'm not even sure that this is the most beautiful kind of setup, but I think we're going to have a lot of sort of meandering roads, even lower density-ish, and sort of a bit of a tree structure like I've done once before. Yeah, just that way. The advantage of doing something like that is actually kind of interesting, because it means that you really are sort of limited to just local traffic. Only the people that live in this neighborhood will end up using this sort of road that goes here. In terms of density of actual sort of streets that I'm going to put down, there's going to be a lot of sort of wasted space or green space, right? Because we're going to try to make something that looks kind of nice. So yeah, we could put an industry back here. I mean, we could have a little airport, but I don't think I want any of that. We do need power somewhere, though. So let's actually, just on the curiosity, do we happen to have a little bit of power available? We do, yeah. So let's start with that and some water. and some sewage. So you know what? We won't worry about it for right now. We're going to just start with our layout here. Yes, and they want some residential zones. So we might have a higher density residential zone over here. Now, we don't want a street quite this long because the problem is, of course, that without the opportunity to make U-turns, we get some pretty gnarly traffic going on. I'm actually wondering about making sort of a big loop here on the inside. I think that would actually be halfway decent. Would the arc tool work well for this? Not at all. What if I come out a little more directly? Yeah, there we are. And then we kind of need a couple of options here. We can end up with a bit of an S-curve. That wouldn't be the end of the world. There. So very irregular kind of roads. And then we're going to stop spending that because obviously we're running out of money. Now, I will go ahead and put down some residential areas now. I think that a lot of these residential areas are probably going to get replaced with municipal buildings. But, you know, we need to get started and just make a little bit of money. And this is going to be a fine way to do it. In fact, I'll just go ahead and overkill the whole thing. There. These houses are definitely going to get bulldozed when we start building roads there. So let's kick it up to cheetah speed. Hopefully we get some people moving in. We should have all the power and everything, and again, they'll more or less work over there. And for now, these are going to be low wealth jobs, but we're going to have parks all over the place. Parks, amphitheaters, all that jazz. The population's not going to be terribly high in this town, and that's actually going to be kind of challenging because the high wealth people need some pretty high services. They're pretty demanding. So I think I'm going to want it right about here. So it's going to be a little bit difficult balancing out the wealth. What we may do is build sort of a tourism industry here, and not a gambling one, because I don't think that'll be the right kind of mood. But maybe the really nice sort of touristy buildings, and we'll spread it out throughout, you know, the whole of the area. Might make for some wonky traffic, but we'll see how it goes. I would like to name the city something interesting, but I haven't decided what that will be yet. I mean, Elm Grove is next door, and that is the default name, and Twain is the default name. I really should make it look, give it a decent sort of thing. We'll just call it something, we'll call it Richton for now. Richton. I want to go with that way. I might rename it a few times. We'll see how it goes. Gambling house, all this. So we've got a few add-ons to our town hall from our neighbor, luckily. That's going to be transportation systems, which will be incredibly helpful. And we're going to try to keep the traffic low. Although with the wealthy people, they aren't prone to use mass transit very often. The Nissan Leaf station will actually be pretty handy, I think, for this particular setup. All right, so we've got a little bit of tax income, which is great. Let's go ahead and draw out some roads here. Now, I will go with low-density streets. I'm actually really tempted to make the dirt roads, but we'll go and we'll splurge this time. Just because it's so woodsy, so the dirt roads feel right, but I think that for the overall scenario that we're looking for, it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is just sort of peel off a few sort of like, it's a little more meandering than I wanted because it was snapping there. Turn off the guides. Yeah, there we are. So, I mean, I don't have a particularly steady hand at the best of times, but when you're giving me sort of random snapping like that, that's really going to hurt me even that much more. So yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm looking for. Don't want them to all curve the same way. Can we get a Y going off here? That was very bizarre. What? Whoa. Okay, I'm very much not used to the freestyle tool quite so much when trying to make these. So it's a shame that, you know, this is not the smoothest of all roads. But it should be okay. And then what we'll do here, we actually might do a sort of meandering route here. Again, oh, I don't have enough money for that? Is that what's going on? Again, the problem is when doing something like this, you don't want people to be driving through Yeah, I'm a little hard up for cash. Okay. We don't want people driving through all these residential neighborhoods, but with all these sort of meandering routes, they shouldn't do anything too ridiculous. So, I'm going to go ahead and build... Where do I want it? Because they do need some local services because it's handy. We can put a little bit of a block commercial here. A few more over there. Like that. And they're also going to have lots of parks, because that's, of course, how we're going to raise land value. And parks double kind of like commercial areas, if they can't reach a commercial area, and also if they're broke. Have I been building low density? I think so. Yeah, not bad. All right. Although this is a long route with no U-turns and just potentially a lot of backed up traffic. Still, I don't think I want to create any more intersections here than I have to. I will have to go and create a couple of sort of things like these. Again, just to give intersections where people can actually make a U-turn if need be. And then we'll give them a little bit of a local shopping area. Maybe something like this. And then the rest will become residential. People are becoming exceptionally happy for some reason. I don't know why. I guess the combination of the commercial and the residential. But yeah, now I'm not even convinced if we are going to have jobs here or if I'm just going to expand the industry next door. They will need a better educational system at some point, so we're going to see how that goes. Quite a bit of traffic backlog here, but that's to be expected. When you build all these houses, you get such an influx of moving vans that no matter what, you're going to get a bottleneck. It's not necessarily representative of what will happen later on. Upgrade already. The city is growing fast and making a decent amount of money, despite the fact that we just have little mobile homes right now. But yeah, we will need more services soon enough. Now, I don't believe that I have... No, I don't have the financial services, so we can't get the big loans, but we can get a half-decent sized loan anyway. We're going to let the city settle for a moment while all these moving trucks move in, and then we're going to decide sort of what to go to next. I think there's going to have to be just a lot more trees in general, for one. I'm going to go ahead and plant a bunch of those. It does cost a little bit of money, but I have it in my head that this is just going to be, you know, just greenery galore. I'm half tempted to go and, like, break up some of the zones over here just to give people more space between the houses. But I think once the houses become sort of high wealth, they'll look better. It's always the problem. I never like the way the low density, low wealth housing works. And I guess that makes a lot of sense, right? I suppose it shouldn't be attractive. But, can I plant outside? No. What was I saying? It shouldn't be attractive, but it's, like, especially boring. Like, you know, at this point, I'm like, oh, I don't even know if I've got a decent build going on, but I'm pretty sure I do. So I'm considering, even though it's kind of stupid, but I'm thinking about putting the solar panels over here. I don't know, I should probably have a power farm back here. Off this little spur. Oh, in this corner here. That'll work just fine. Which should give us a half-decent amount of space to expand, although that's where the rail comes in. I'm going to have to build a rail station there at some point. Never mind. Maybe over here. Yeah, I'm just concerned about having enough room to expand. Yeah, we're basically out of power. So I will start a little further, sort of flat like this. That should be okay to move forward. I never checked the water table. We'll have to do that pretty soon. Now, obviously, people won't like having a sewage treatment plant nearby, so... all right, well, let's take a look very quickly. We want to build this. Okay, we could, because the wind blowing this way, it might be a good idea for us to trim this road back and build our water treatment and sewer treatment plant in this sort of area. I mean, the sewage treatment plant here just to get rid of the smell, if nothing else, and the water treatment plant has to be somewhere along the shore, and, you know, then you get that whole re-injecting stuff into the ground thing. Okay, I'll put a water tower over here for now because that's all we're going to need at this time. But I'm pretty sure that even some of these roads are going to get trimmed. This road will probably stay. This road will probably get peeled back. And then we'll bulldoze the water tower and put down a proper water treatment plant at some point. Hey, my house. Yes, we will definitely build that. And I don't want to be near the sewage, obviously. Good God. Maybe down one of these places? Over here? Where do we want to live? Oh, right by the lake. That's where we're going to live. Right at the end of the street on this lake. Boom. And that should spread throughout the entire city, I think. Now, the way the happiness system works, of course, and we've discussed it before, is that every time they leave the house, they go to work, they come back with money, then they take the money and they go to a commercial area and they spend it and they return with happiness. And that's how your density/happiness goes up long term. The happiness that you get when you plop down something like the mayor's house gives you a boost, like fills your meter a little bit, but it's not necessarily like the end of the world long term. Yeah, ferry terminals definitely possible. Help our city grow faster, bring in a little bit more tourism later on when we actually get some of those touristy type of things. Definitely considered. So we've still got, you know, the traffic coming in pretty heavily. And of course, this could be a sign of traffic problems later on when people start going to work. But again, I think it's just worse with the moving trucks. Also, these are, that's another big part of the problem. Is this just a 2-lane road, a low density? We will definitely upgrade to at least medium density lower on. We may not go high density. Like, I don't know if we want skyscrapers, right? I mean, aesthetically speaking, I don't even know if I'll want anything more than the single family residences once we go, like, high wealth. Like, that's obviously we want to get rid of. Robbery already? No, not Maxis, man. What do you want? He wants industrial. Yeah, I do think that a college would fit in exceptionally well. College, university, get things up to that level. It will feel fantastic. It'll look good in the city. And then what we can do is actually get, you know, we can bring some industry back in, but have it be high-tech industry. But it's going to take us a little while to get to that point. We are making excellent money, obviously. I mean, the only thing that we're spending is like one water tower. And, oh, really, wow, we really need more power. Oh, actually, that's not true. We are not under. Well, now I'm really confused. I was going to say it was at 0, but that means we're still buying. That's the first time I saw the 0 as well. We're still buying the power we need from outside the city. It won't go above 0. But I guess at this point it means we're possibly not buying. We're just sort of happy internally. And that's alright. That's fine. And water, we don't have a shortage. Sewage, we are selling and shipping it out of town. There we go. The poop must flow. Alright, so again, just sort of letting things kick in, getting a little bit of money, and then we'll figure out where we're going to go. Actually, it might be a good time to just start putting down the fires. Yeah, let's get the municipal stuff down anyway. I think I might use this sort of area right over here as a kind of municipal area. For some reason, it feels right. Like, based on, you know, some towns I've been in, it might be this sort of place to do that. Fire is pretty important because buildings burning down are really bad. You heard it here first, folks. Things burning down is bad. But also if you're a city. I mean, when the fire spread, you can really get screwed, right? The crime and the healthcare can actually wait quite a bit longer. Although it is going to be a big problem with the wealthy people because they have much higher demands. Yeah, we'll look into that. Actually, probably want the bus terminal straight up. Although, now that I think about it, I don't think there's any bus terminals over there. So we will want to do that just to try to encourage people not to pollute too much. Yeah, let's go and put down these leaf stations. We'll have them sort of on the way in and out of town. Like close-ish to that. One there. Makes people happy. That's what happens when you use something that's sponsored. These are all EA executives, so it's like thrilling to them. I don't know if there's an optimal placement for the Nissan Leaf stations. I haven't done a tremendous amount of research with them. Let me make them that happy. Makes them okay happy. Again, it's mostly the work cycle that'll help. Now, some people can work in the commercial zones, but industry is the main source of your jobs. And with that in mind, I wonder if we should pop over to the other town for a sec. We can even transfer some money, assuming that works. Let's do that. Let's go back over to Elm Grove. Elm Grove is not an interesting city. Again, it was mostly just I let it run just to see if the traffic patterns improved. And they have. I feel like patch 3.0 really has helped things be a little less bad. You know, I intentionally put my expo center way back from my entrance to the city, so that way it forces people to go through the streets and see how much they clog it up. Again, same thing with kind of the airport and a lot of that kind of jazz. I mean, I'm saying it's stupid city, but it actually kind of looks like a normal urban city, which is not necessarily interesting, but I guess, you know, I guess it's good. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, yeah, the industrial zoning. There's actually quite a lot of industrial zoning going on here. It suffers from not being high-tech. So let's take a look at that possibility. There are no schools here at all yet, which means we have to do the big slog upwards. I'm going to put it in the middle of town so that people can sort of spread out in a variety of directions. We'll get rid of some of our commercial here. So hopefully we can expand this enough, because what we need to do is we need to hit a certain number of... Oh yeah, we'll need bus stops. I don't even know if we want all the buses. So we have to be able to hit a certain number of students at the school, and then that'll unlock the bigger schools, if I recall correctly. I mean, it might just be that we need a Department of Education. But I didn't think so. I'm pretty sure some of the things... Well, I suppose... Okay, I'm thinking we can probably do the college now? No? Not even. Yeah, we do need 1,200 students to reach there, and I don't think the school... I think the school can fit like 800 at the most. But afterwards, we can actually drop the... yeah, 950. We can drop out the grade school, replace it with the high school, and that will let us fit just fine. So let's go ahead and create a school bus system. Again, this is mostly our feeder town, you know. We don't have to be precise. This town's not important. I don't even know if there's any residential stuff over there. I think they did improve some of the bus behavior. They should more highly prioritize the busier stops. So there's that. We do have a lot of money here. Apparently we are backflowed on poop. We don't want that. In fact, I guess ideally we may never want to build a... I'm maxing this out. We may never want to build a sewage treatment plant in Richton, right? We may want to only ever have sewage treatment here, which seems pretty reasonable. I suppose we could do the same thing with water. Where's my water supply? Is it over there? Ah, over here. Alright, so let's go ahead and give ourselves some extra capacity over here, so we can keep selling it to the other town. Yeah, we may avoid putting any of this stuff in place over there. Now, we should also be able to put some school bus stops over here and feed this town with extra students, which will help hit our cap. But I think we're actually going to be okay once the school day starts. I mean, at the very least, we'll unlock the... oh, we want to be on cheetah speed. We'll unlock the high school pretty quick, and then should unlock the university. And I guess the university will actually have to be here to make these tech industries high-tech. Well, that's an option. Because I don't think the university tech levels propagate properly. So I think that you need the university in the town with your industry that you want to high-techify. We could just have everyone commute over here. We might, you know, get away with not having much in the way of industry at all over there. I think there probably will be some whining about employment. And I think it would be pretty to have a university in the other town. Which means we need to do all the schooling over there. Ugh. You know what? Screw it. This is where people work. This is going to be cleverly named Workton. Alright. So yeah, we may even end up getting rid of some of the residential and commercial later on. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we may leave the big commercial. And I don't know if I want the other town to be super high density. We'll play it by ear. Apparently the ground is all kind of poopy over here. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm just waiting for the schools to kick in. Teaching 0 students. What do you want? Do we have a garbage dump over here? Oh, you want to do that? Yeah, that's probably fine. I think we've got the garbage capacity to do that, maybe? I don't know, but we'll add more trucks because I'm sure we're not going to want a garbage dump in the other town, so we're going to make sure to volunteer our trucks. We've got an incinerator, a little garbage dump. That should be pretty good. I haven't found the need to really make a huge garbage dump at any point. Like, the incinerator seems to do a pretty good job. School. I should have checked the student count here. Students. Oh, yeah, we've got tons of students in town. Alright, so we'll easily be able to fill everything. There we go. Now we can build the high school. So we will do that because we need to, again, hit that 1,200 student mark. It does say region. Maybe I can just build the university in the other place. I'll have to see how it goes. And some classrooms just to be able to hit our goals. That should be way more than is necessary. Close not hiring, so I'm not sure they're going to fire. Yeah, well, I don't want a community college. Community college is pretty good, but university is obviously just better. If anything, the ability to unlock all the secret projects are kind of cool. Okay, 950. And yeah, the high school has more than enough capacity. Oh, it's even taking in some people, even though it wasn't built before like 10 o'clock this morning. I feel like there's school buses coming from the other town, too. Maybe I'm imagining some of the traffic. Yeah, so we'll have to go next door and build our bus stops anyway. 1,200! There, university. Bam. Yeah, the school buses are still pretty damn clumpy. But I did, like, spam out all of them. Which is often not advised, right? You, generally speaking, don't want to do that. Garage? Trucks over there? How do I... Oh, volunteer. Yeah, there we go. Volunteer 8 trucks over there. Perfect. What else can we do? 2 to 3. I guess we already have fire services, but now we have more. Yeah, let's get the ambulances going on. We're going to want health services locally in town. 20 deaths per day. Amazing. Alright, let's switch back over there. And see what we can do. And I'll be back with the next part soon. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.